5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Liftoff.
So we're blessed to hear that introduction twice because I put it on and I say good morning, and then of course they're the dogs.
Of course the puppy goes off and we forget to go
live.
live.
And I didn't say go live, and so we're starting out really strong here today, guys. But happy Wednesday! It is Cup of Colonial. I have this dope glass, like Secretariat. It's got the times on there: 1 mile, 1 quarter, new track record. I mean, Ronnie Turcotte's on there, Lucien Laurent. I'm so cool. So thanks to Colonial Downs for sending me this for a cup of Colonial. But cheers to your coffee drinking.
Cheers to yours.
Welcome, Mark, from On the Wrong Lead. I'm excited that I roped you in to come on today. And you've selected more horses than I have. So thanks for being an overachiever.
Yeah, I try sometimes. I honestly, I love these Colonial cards. Colonial is a cool little track. I'm a Saratoga local, but I love turf racing, and Colonial is just all about the turf racing. I mean, you have a 9-race card. Only 2 of them are on the dirt today. It tends to not be the top tier, top of the heap turf racing, but it's really competitive, big fields, and for the gambler or somebody playing something like horse tourneys, it's just a great track to really target.
Yeah, and it's one of those, like, when I first started capping and I was going to talk about it, I'm like, a shipping. I mean, they're all shipping. It's like they don't, it's a 21-day meet. It's 3 days. Horses will stay at Keeneland, they'll stay at Delaware or whatever. They'll ship in for the race and they'll go home. So it gives you this brand new challenge of, like, you're not able to look at the locals per se and see horses that have been there forever. You're looking at ship-ins and trainers coming in and out, and ones that will only have 3 races running. So, and I know I've picked a couple of those. Dallas Stewart, for instance, Ben Colebrook, I've got on my list today. But they've sent 3 horses there, so it's hard to be like, this is their record when you only run 3 horses. But that's the challenge. It's
nice if you're somebody that gets frustrated by tracks that have 2 or 3 trainers or 2 or 3 jockeys that dominate everything. You won't have that problem here because it is very, very wide open.
For sure. Okay, so you're in. So we've got a few games in the Stable app today, and you're in 2 of them. You are in the free ride, which is great. Players can play up to 3 stables usually in the free rides. Cost you nothing. $100 is split for the winning stables, and then we have the $25 entry, $750 guarantee, and that has been growing. So the more stables that grow, obviously the pot grows, and then it is split. But yeah, so 3. I'm going up here. I'm trying to exactly find it. We've got the free ride. We've got the $25 entry, and then we have a $500 double up. Have you ever played a double up, Mark?
I have not played a double up, but I really was debating about hopping into that one just because this is a fun little card, fun track, and things like that where the reward is really good. Obviously it's a double up, and that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's an easy bank builder for that. I mean, and if the $500 scares you away, just keep an eye out on the app. We'll have $50 double up. So again, like, all you got to do is finish in the top for a double up. I think it's the top 40%. That's amazing, and you double your money. That's a lot better than a lot of bets out there. We have triple ups. I think that's like the top 20%. I'm not the math major in the office, so I don't do that stuff. But hey, let's jump in. So I have a long shot. So if you are in need of value, I have a value play, and then I have 2 shorter shots, and I know that you've got a couple good value plays as well. But I'll hop in on my first one. So I went in the first race because after looking at this race, I just feel like it's wide open. Like the money, not the value, but the shorter prices are definitely on the 6 and the 7 here. But there's not a lot to love. I mean, the 6, the first-time starter, it's a maiden. Who knows what's going to happen? Stidham, 29% right now. That's pretty good. The works are good, but it's still a maiden, guys. Like, still maiden. And then the last one, the 7, it did have a first time out that was pretty impressive at Churchill Downs. But the last time out, it gave absolutely nothing. So, I mean, if you want to spend the money on it, go for it. And I hope it works out for you. But in this race, I might look at value, and I'm going for the 5 Kelly Green So good jock. Not a lot to love about the actual races. I swear, it's like dog fighting here. But the new trainer has brought 3 horses, and we were just talking about this. Has brought 3 horses and has done well with those 3. So you are taking a chance here, but at $500, you're just hoping that this horse like closes close to the finish, and that's what we're going for.
Yeah, I actually thought your 5 was super interesting in here. You got a trainer that's 33% on the meet. You have a jock that's 33% on the meet, and the 2 of them together have a win. So, in a race where there's no standout, and if you need a value play, Kelly Green makes a ton of sense. That was definitely a horse that was on my radar there as well.
And of course, all I keep thinking is Kelly Breen whenever I see it. But
yeah.
Kelly Green, $500. That would be my long shot, my value pick in race 1. Good morning, Lance. Thanks for tuning in. I know you tune in every day, and I love that. Okay, so let's go. Who do you have in the second race?
Yeah, race 2, the 5 horse, Elusive Jester. I thought this one was really neat. They tried this one on turf first time out, bumped the gate, was 2 to 3 wide the whole time. So I had just an absolutely terrible trip. For the Michael Matz barn, they shipped to Penn, and then they got rained off the turf. This one has tons of turf pedigree, top and bottom, and they got rained off. So you can kind of draw a line through that last race. This is your quintessential kind of dirtied up form horse, a horse that has not had its chance to do its best running yet. And I think you're going to get that today. You're going to have, Sanchez, I think, either leading or second best jock on the meet so far. And Graham Edwards, again, has had 3 shippers in, a first and a second, and the first place and the second place horses were both with Sanchez up. So I would imagine this is his go-to jock in these types of situations. It's a $1,000 horse in stable duel, and it's one that I think for $1,000 you're getting a huge amount of upside to a horse that has yet had a chance to really show its best stuff.
Okay, cool. I told you this when we started. I am trying to talk myself into this horse. So guys, if you're listening, take this with a grain of salt. Please make your own decisions here. Part of this is speed figures for me. The other part is just the trainer and the track that the horse came from. But there's a lot that is changing in this race. So I am looking at the 3 Preselli's Tail. So let me get this up because it is a shorter price. It's $7,500 in your stable. It is costing you money. But this horse is coming from Dallas Stewart, and it's stretching out. So this is a 1 1/16 mile race. This horse has done 6 furlongs, 6.5 furlongs. It's stretching out. It hasn't been on the turf. I don't know why they're making this choice, but I don't think Dallas makes the wrong choices. I think he's, tries different things out. Speed figures are there, 57 last, 64 the time before that. The works are decent, consistent. I think the horse should be fit. That's just, I don't know why. I feel like I keep talking myself into this horse, but I have talked myself into this horse, and that's what I'm doing. So 7-2, it's costing $7,500. It's Preselli's Tail in the second race, and that's who I would be putting in my stable. All right.
Yeah. The question with Preselli's Tail is just, does the horse take to the turf? By far and away the fastest horse in the field on both of those first 2 races are much faster than everybody else in here. Just, will this one handle the turf? And Dallas, is a very smart trainer, and he's shipping this one in. So, this is what he's trying to take a shot with.
Don't let us down, Dallas. Don't do it. Okay. Race 3. Am I the only one on race 3? I'm the one on race 3.
I think you're the only one on race 3. Yep.
So I've got I don't know if you'd give it value, but it's $6,500 envied. I do really like this horse. Now, I actually know some other horses in this field.
Race 8.
Oh, race 8. Oh, no, wait. So yeah, see, this is not my morning. This is not my morning. I know, and I'm in race 3 looking. I know some horses in race 3 that I would not put out there. So let's go to you then. So we'll skip race 3 because I don't have race 3. Apparently 8 looks like.
Yeah. 3. In race 4, it's the second dirt race on the on the card. I ended up landing on the 7 Golden Lassie. She's by far the speed in here. And if you've been watching the meet so far of the dirt races, speed has been very, very, very good on the dirt, whereas on the turf, it's been a little bit more off the pace. So Golden Lassie should get pretty loose in here. Charlie Marquez comes down for this one. He's a really good jock. And, I think it's all signs kind of go for this one. Horses should be the fastest in the field. Gets a little class relief off the last two. I think can just kind of get out, get comfortable on the front end and wire this. You're paying here. You're getting it's an $8,000 horse, but it's one I have a pretty strong opinion on. So I'm okay spending that money to get a horse I just think is the best horse in the field here and gets win last out and gets a little extra class relief today.
Yeah, I actually like that horse too. I'm sitting here and looking, and you look at ran in the slop and it ran in the mud, and those were some of its worst races in the last 4, but it's been improving outside of that. Where you're going to get a fast track today as it's hot as Hades in Virginia. So absolutely. All right. So who's your next? You've got.
I think I went to race 7 after here. I ended up some of the middle races I thought were a little bit of suspect, but in race 7,
yes, suspect.
Yeah, a little suspect. My sweet wife in here, this is another horse that I would call sort of a dirtied up form horse. If you put a line through all the dirt races and the 4 races that were taken off the turf, they clearly know this is a turf horse and they just keep getting rained off. So if you put a line through all those races, you have a horse that has steadily improving form and looks like it should be a massive player in here today. Beskiza comes in for the mount. He's a very good jock. And, it's a horse that if you run back to that Gulfstream Park March race, that this horse should, be one of the top, probably 2 or 3 fastest on speed figures. I thought the horse made a ton of sense. And you're getting, that 8-to-1 price, which comes out to $3,000 in Stable Duel, just because of, that dirtied up form and a horse that you look back at those last 2 and you go, oh, those are terrible figures, but we're not running on dirt today. So.
Absolutely. Okay, so now we'll go to race 3, aka race 8, if anyone was paying attention a little while ago. Race 8, I'm on Envied, the number 3 horse. This horse is dropping from a $100,000 the last time out at this track. I was actually there and remember hearing Beam yell, "Pumpy Monkey Baby," across the finish line. And this was a crazy, crazy day. Like there were, just long prices hitting the board all over. I think the Super paid like $60,000. It was just insane. But Colebrook is bringing this horse back. She did really well. She was closing. So she was 3rd coming out of the gate, went to 5th, 4th, 2nd. And, I think in this race, hopefully she's not against Puppy Monkey Baby. And then she can finish it off. And it doesn't look like there's a ton of published works. So I'm wondering if he's just trying to keep her laid back and fresh since it's not a far turnaround, just a couple weeks. And I like Colebrook as well. So I do think your other horse in here that you're up against is the 7 Sail on Ellen, which is going to cost you more money at $8,000. Envied is costing you $6,500. Speed figures are pretty consistent with one another. In the last race, Sail on Ellen did get a higher speed figure, but they both got their best yet. And I would spend the $6,500 and hope that Envied really likes this track from last time out and set up for the win.
Yeah, I went actually the other direction. I went to Sail on Ellen. I went with a 7. I think this is a horse that if you look at just the 5.5 furlong turf figures, probably is the fastest horse in the field by a fair bit. And I think this is the horse that Beskiza ships in for. It just seems to be the horse that's kind of on the rise. And again, you have to do quite a bit of drawing lines through some of those longer turf races where they were trying to stretch that speed out that this one has. But if you just look at those 5.5 furlong figs, you just got lost by a neck last time out. And I think this one probably catches a little softer field. Those Churchill 100K allowances come up very, very, very salty. Those are basically stakes races.
All right, we'll see. Now you're talking me into possibly changing. I don't know.
You got to pay up though. That's the thing. How do you balance it out?
That's true. That's what it's about. So what is your overall strategy? If you could give one tip for Stable Duel strategy to the listeners right now, what would be your tip?
I think the thing is just with how the price structure is on Stable Duel, you want to find a couple of really short priced horses that you're willing to pay up for. And then you want to kind of go searching for those value price plays. Those sort of middle of the road horses don't work. So most of my horses that you'll see me picking are either 3-to-1 or shorter, or they're sort of 8-to-1 or taller. It's just or 8-to-1 or longer on the morning line. And it's just how the odds sort of work out. So you kind of have your horses that you think have a lot of upside, and then you have those horses that are more known quantities that you're going to get short prices, and kind of ignore those middle value plays.
I actually like that. I think early on when we were doing testing, a couple stables that we tried out was just picking $5,000 horses, and there wasn't a clear, this strategy is better than that. So that's a good strategy for people to try out for sure. Okay, so speaking of, you've got one more, and we're going to put up your stable since you're in 2 contests so people can play against you. So who do you have in race 9?
I'm going to end up on this 4-horse Daffodil. This is a horse that is just a massive head scratcher. It's a $1,000 horse on Stable Duel, and this is one who has quite a bit of turf pedigree, both top and bottom, and they've been running at Charlestown, and they just, they don't have a turf circuit there. So they finally shipped this one to someplace with turf. I think this is one of those horses that you can kind of draw a line through every other race this horse has ever run. They're finally getting this one on the right surface. You're taking a bit of a shot. You're hoping that this one takes to the turf and runs well, but there aren't any monsters in here. And I think Daffodil has, every opportunity to really step forward, and I think she should really appreciate the surface change.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think it's important if you are not finding a bunch of horses that are standout, then find the value, because
yeah.
And
again, just with how the structure is with Stable Duel, if you're looking at this kind of a race, I would have a really hard time taking a short price in here, because I think that the short prices are all pretty suspect. So I want to find that value play, that horse, and even if the horse doesn't win, that finishes second, finishes third, even finishes fourth. Because if you can spend $1,000 and get a horse that finishes fourth, you can then use that money other places where you have better opinions on a favorite.
Yeah. And if anyone is listening that has not played Stable Duel, this is one of the best things about Stable Duel. I played a pick 5, a pretty hefty pick 5 over the weekend at Del Mar. I did split the ticket, but it ended up costing me like $140 personally. And that's the biggest thing I ever played. And we were out on the first leg, and we won the middle 3, and then we lost the last one. But if you're out on the first leg, you're out. It doesn't matter. Stable Duel, you don't have to win every single race. You just want to be in the green, so you want to finish well. And so that's where some of your value picks come, where it's not about necessarily winning. It's just finishing as close to the winner as possible and seeing that green in your stable.
Yeah, and you still get those points for fourth. So effectively, you're spending very little and not losing points. And as long as you're not losing points, you're moving forward, because there will be people ahead of you who are moving backwards with those horses. So
yep, absolutely. Okay, so your stable name is Packrat 92. Is there a reason?
Packrat 99.
99.
It was a name I came up with when I was a little kid. I was a big Wayne Gretzky fan, so the 99, and I can't remember where the Packrat came from. I have no idea. And just one of those names that stuck with me as a name. If you're on Horse Racing Discord, I'm Packrat 99 on there as well.
I feel like this is back in the AIM AOL days when that was
back in the AOL Instant Messenger thing. Yeah, yep. Back in those days, somehow you needed a name and you need something unique, and I can't even remember why I came up with that one.
Hey, I like it. So take a look for Packrat 99. Boop, down there. He'll be playing in the $25 game as well as the free ride. So look out for his stable and interact with him at 2_turns on Twitter and on the Wrong Lead as well. Fun group of guys that you all met on Discord, correct?
Yeah, we're all friends from Discord, and we've become friends over the years and travel all around the country now. So all the guys are coming out to Saratoga later on the meet to hang out there. I flew down to Oaklawn, into the teeth of the pandemic to go down and watch the Rebel with Chase. So we all friends travel around, watch horse racing, and like to put out content that's a little bit beginner friendly. So.
Absolutely. Well, hopefully we're going to hook you up with a Saratoga box when you guys go there and have an awesome weekend. So thanks very much. We'll see how your stable does. And yeah, sorry guys, not my best day. I can't even read 99 or 3 or 8. So maybe don't follow my picks today. Listen to this guy over there at all costs. All right, guys, have a good morning. Thanks for tuning in to Cup of Colonial.